Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So I am going to be doing a little bit of cruise news today, and that is talking about the recently released updates about the Jungle Cruise. Disney has announced that there are going to be some changes made to the Disneyland and also the Disney World versions of the Jungle Cruise attraction, and we've kind of anticipated there being some changes in conjunction with the release of the movie starring Emily Blunt and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but we didn't know that there was going to be any changes before then, so it'll be interesting to see what the changes actually turn out like. But today I'm just going to talk about kind of my opinions, my thoughts on it as a former Jungle Cruise skipper, someone very familiar with the attraction. Thanks to those of you who requested this. If you ever have any suggestions for videos, make sure that you are leaving comments for me, or DM me on Instagram or anything like that. I love getting suggestions for stuff that y'all want to hear about. So today, that's what I'm talking about, the updates on the Jungle Cruise. So first, really quickly, I'm just going to kind of breeze through it because I'm sure most of you are aware of what the changes are. They were announced earlier, and it's yesterday at this point, probably when you're seeing this. But they announced that there are going to be some changes made to the storyline of the Jungle Cruise, and changes to the show scenes and to the references that the skippers are going to make in regards to the native peoples and the depictions thereof. There have been some concerns for a long time, honestly, about how the different people that are part of the Jungle Cruise story have been depicted. So they're going to kind of address that a little bit and make some changes so that some of the scenes and the figures within the Jungle Cruise, the storylines, are not quite as problematic as they have been. So here are a couple of pictures courtesy of the Disney Parks webpage that they released yesterday. These are Imagineering pictures. You can see that there are going to be updates to the trapped safari scene. It's going to be more of a skipper who has met an unfortunate situation on one of their cruises. That's going to be the storyline that we're following. So I'm sure that whoever our skipper who has been on a misadventure is, that they are going to be one of the people who are trapped by the rhino in the trapped safari scene. I'm sure that that's kind of where that's going to head. And then the other picture is a scene with a crashed boat, and it looks like they, maybe that was the skipper who had a problem and their boat has wrecked, and now some chimpanzees are taking over and kind of messing around with the boat the same way that the gorillas previously messed with the camp. So those are two of the scenes that they've shown some concept art for. Now, I do also believe that there's probably going to be changes made to a few other show scenes that they haven't mentioned. One of the most prominent, obviously, being Trader Sam. I think that he is probably going to be updated. The Headhunter section, I believe, is probably going to be updated. Those are things that, as someone who is not a person of color, I can't speak to, a personal effect that I've had, but I can tell you that as a skipper, sometimes I felt very awkward, even though it was part of the script that I was given. It was something that had been said for many years before me and many years after me. Some of the jokes and the things that you say as part of the Jungle Cruise script were uncomfortable. And, obviously I can't, like I said, I can't speak to it on a personal level, but the fact that native peoples in a variety of different lands that you're supposed to be visiting were treated more as like a tourist attraction, like, hey, we're gonna go and like watch these people live their lives, and they were depicted in a way that was stereotypical a lot of times. It's not true to how those native peoples live. It is not flattering in any light. The whole Trader Sam thing, him being a head salesman, there's cannibalism jokes that are actually part of the script, and I never did any of them because that was just like a step too far for me. I'm not into cannibalism. I don't even like to eat meat, so I'm not eating people, and I'm not joking about it either. But you do have some jokes like that that are part of the script that I do believe will probably be taken out. The depictions of Trader Sam in Disney World and Disneyland, while they are two different looks, neither one of them is culturally appropriate or culturally correct in any way, I don't believe. So I think that they're probably going to try to be more sensitive to actual cultures, while also keeping the fun and humorous aspects of the Jungle Cruise that we know and love. This isn't to say let's get rid of all the jokes, everything that you love about the Jungle Cruise, we're going to overhaul it and we're changing it and all that. We're making those changes, we're making progress. So am I sad to see the Jungle Cruise change? yes and no. I think that it is probably time for some changes to be made. It is going to be weird. I think it's not as sad to me as it is just, it's going to be weird to not immediately just know every joke anytime that I'm on it or anytime I'm watching a video of it. To have something new, it's going to be different. It's going to be weird, but I think that it's going to be good. I think it'll be nice to have some new material first of all, but then also to have things where everyone can be included and the diversity of our great world and all the rivers of the world can be celebrated in an actual way, not made fun of. I think that's really the takeaway from this, is we want to celebrate and not deride or make fun of any cultures or any different groups of people that may have been represented in a way that was not flattering and like not the way that they would want to have been represented. I don't know when the changes are actually set to be installed, put into place. I assume that they're probably working on Disneyland right now while it's closed, and then Disney World will follow soon thereafter. I don't know that to be true, but that's what I'm guessing. So that's it. That's kind of my take on the announcement about the Jungle Cruise revamp, and I would like to know what you think. Hopefully, positive thoughts and positive comments, please, guys. And, this is ultimately for a good reason, and it's coming from a place of love and inclusion. So let's try to keep that in mind when we're commenting. Are there any other attractions that you don't want to see go away, but you'd like to see them updated and brought up to more current social standards and, brought up to current times? So let me know what those are down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.